particular wheel. This wheel can be a metaphor for how we see the world of secret societies. The outer rim is the face of the society, whether Mason or Bilderberg. This rim is going much too fast to see what the centre of the wheel is doing, but it is the rim that takes the full brunt of the road. One side of the rim cannot see what the other side is doing, or that it even exists. The centre can see what is happening in all directions from its position of power and is distanced from it, whilst holding all the spokes in its grasp. If you can see the rim, then you are not at the centre. By the fact that there exists rim at all, we know there must be a centre. The same is true in the world of secret societies. To the world, which is the road, all we see is the rim. We see the whole rim over time as the wheel moves, and then cycles around again and again. This is why history repeats itself. But we are just like those who are on the rim. We cannot see the centre of the wheel from our perspective, and so we must deduce from the existence of the rim that there must be spokes and a centre. So the only way to work out what is in the centre of the wheel is to see the whole rim and to try to deduce what the centre would be like. We need to write down a few of the candidates for the job of our outer rim secret society, or suspicious organisation. These include the following: Freemasons, Knights of Malta, Knights Templar, Opus Dei, Jesuits, Priory of Sion or the Merovingian bloodline claim, the CIA or MI5 and other secret services, the original Illuminati, Rosicrucians, and the Chinese Triad. Now all we need to do is see if all these positions on the rim revolved around the same centre. Let's look at the Freemasons and their origin. The history and origin of the Freemasons is not a simple subject. In fact, it is virtually impossible to decipher, and the myriad histories fed into thousands of books on the subject. Many Masonic historians try desperately to claim that their lineage stretches right back to the Temple of Solomon and the builder Hiram Abiff. They are even told it as a fact in their ceremonies. Others claim descent from Roman and Greek stonemasons and the Roman augurs, who had special knowledge of the lay of the land and energies related to our modern-day perception of ley lines and feng shui. There can be no strict proof for any of this, albeit likely that the secret knowledge has been passed down the centuries from one adept and initiate to another. The general consensus has the Freemasons emerging from the medieval stonecutters, who are known as operative masons. They are skilled craftsmen who built the great cathedrals and churches of Europe for the Catholic Church, and who included many mysterious images and secrets within their amazing carvings. They were known as soft masons or Freemasons, as the carving was free work or soft stone. This version of the history of the Masons claims the lodge evolved from the huts erected on site by those medieval masons. As time progressed, the Masons grew in power due to the demand for their services and formed groups or unions which became known as lodges. By the 1600s, the lodges began admitting men who were not operative masons and were termed gentlemen masons. The terms developed over time within the operative Masonic lodges and were taken on by those gentlemen masons, becoming part and parcel of their ritual nature. However, there are problems with this version of history. The facts state something quite different, although there is no reason to deny that gentlemen did indeed begin to grow in number within the ranks of the Masons. There is indeed plenty of evidence to show that in the 14th century the Masons were already a well-established group, and indeed accepted, or were evolved by, the inclusion of the Knights Templar that had escaped Catholic suppression to Scotland. The first official documentation we have is from 1356 and is actually from England, and describes the formation of the London Masons' Company and the ordinances governing the lodge that was already established at York Minster. However, these are not the only papers that have survived and speak of groups that were forming.